Hello, everybody. It is your favorite internet powerlifting historian, me, Josh. So it has been quite some time since I made a video, primarily because I've been busy. I've been having various surgeries, so on and so forth. Just primarily it's because I didn't want to make a video. I didn't really see a point in doing it. Finished the second unit of my master's degree out of Norwich, so that was American colonial and revolutionary history. Ended up with an 89.8% in the class, so not quite as well as I wanted to do, but anything over an 89 was an A minus in the class, so I think my GPA out there is still 3.7, something around there, because I got a 93 in the first unit of the course, which was Introduction to Historical Schools and Methodology. Whatever. But, for all things considered, I didn't necessarily think that American colonial and revolutionary history was that bad. I thought it was rather monotonous, and I wasn't a really big fan of the historiography projects that are associated with every unit that you do at Norwich, which, for just a quick run through, you have usually a 10 to 14 book required reading list for each course that you take out of Norwich. And then, on top of those, around week 2 or 3, you get another assignment that is due at week 10. This is the historiography paper, and there's typically other books associated with this historiography project, either that are provided or that you have to go out and buy. This is irritating, because if I'm paying or to rent or buy 10, 14 books, and then you tell me that I need to go out and buy another 5 to 8 more books on top of the fucking 14 that I just had to buy or rent, I've got a problem with that. And another thing that really bothers me about those historiography papers is that these are discussion-based classes. I mean, it's an online master's in history. They can't really do anything else. So in HI 510, which was the first unit that we took out at Norwich, the class was structured to where we would have one discussion board, and then we would have an author article analysis. The author article analysis was we would either read a section of a book on a certain historical school or analytical methodology, and then you would read an article that came from that school or that analytical methodology or philosophy. So that's what we did. We would do a discussion board that required 3 peer responses, and then you do your author article analysis that would do 3 peer responses, whatever the fuck. Then you do the historiography papers. So somewhere in between reading all the shit that was required for the initial course, you'd also have to read these 5 to 8 other fucking books to do your historiography project. 510, it wasn't that bad. It became quite a problem in 520, considering that on average the books in 520 were about 400 to 500 pages. And then in 520, instead of doing author article analysis, we were supposed to do book reviews, which I was like, you know what, great. I read the whole fucking book. I can look up major themes online just to make sure that I'm getting what I need to know. Well, the class started, and then come to find out, we're not doing book reviews. We're doing 2 discussion boards. And so we have to do 2 discussion boards and then fucking 6 in total peer responses, which was just the most monotonous drag in human history. And then somewhere between doing these bullshit busy work discussion posts and reading these 500 fucking page books, or the 2 short papers that we had, you also had to be reading the other fucking 5 to 8 books that you had to buy for the class to make sure that you did your historiography paper on time, which constituted 57% of your entire fucking course grade, which, if you ask me, a paper over books that isn't in the primary required reading list being worth 57% of your fucking grade in a discussion-based class is a little fucking stupid. However, I'm not a professor, so what do I know? But now that we're in the 3rd unit out of Norwich, which is American 19th century history, which is just the bane of my fucking existence. I have never cared less about a subject in history than 19th century history. I'm not sure why, I just don't care. This lady somehow thinks that we are going to do 2 discussion posts a week, 8 peer responses, so 4 on each one, and then short papers ranging between 10 and 15 pages almost every other fucking week, plus additional reading and a historiography paper. The additional readings constitute about another 130, 150 pages a week. They're usually online articles and shit like that. But this is quite taxing, especially considering that my dumbass is still trying to finish my Bachelor's of Science in Psychology and Neuroscience at Indiana University East, of which I'm probably either going to have to decide between the two. But it's the fact that this is becoming rather untenable with both my patience and my care and my ability to actually get this shit done or learn anything, when I really feel like what I'm doing is just trying to get the work done to meet deadlines. Like, I understand, this is graduate school, it's supposed to be hard, you're not supposed to just breeze through this shit like I have been in 510 and 520. But even then, getting all the shit that was required done in 520 was kind of a fucking chore. I lost my job at GNC because they declared bankruptcy and all the non-tenured managers in my region got their asses chopped off and replaced with tenured management. So again, I got fired. Even without a fucking job, me trying to do all of this shit on time, I almost didn't finish my historiography paper, and I got all those books the week that I got the fucking required reading list, because again, you have to read the required texts, and then you have to read these books, and then you have to retain the knowledge over the course of 7 other weeks, because the paper's due at week 10, and I tried to work on it, as much as I could. And, I had difficulty doing that. And that was with us just doing 6 peer responses and 2 discussion boards. In this class, both of the discussion boards, in contrast to HI 520, which are due Tuesday and Thursday, are due on Tuesday. So we have to do 2 discussion boards, which essentially mean you have to have the whole fucking book read by Tuesday. And then you also have to do 8 peer responses. So 5 to 1,000 word fucking peer responses that have to be substantive and further the conversation by Saturday. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, that's a lot of fucking writing and typing. If you think about it, if you do the bare minimum 500 word fucking peer responses, that's 4,000 words on a double spaced paper. That's almost 10 to 15 fucking pages worth of peer responses. That's not counting your primary posts. So not only do I have to fucking burn through these goddamn books, which are honestly bigger than the shit that we had in HI 520, I also have to manage to get both primary discussion boards done by Tuesday, of which usually require the whole book to be read anyways. And then by Saturday, somewhere between doing the additional readings that are usually required for the discussion boards anyways, and doing the other assignments like the short paper that's due next week that's fucking 12 pages long, I also have to find time somewhere to get the money to buy these books that I'm going to need for my historiography paper, which is in this class again, and read those fucking books on top of this horse shit that I'm doing, and then manage to somehow learn and retain knowledge and not just fucking cook through this shit to make sure I'm getting it done. Now, ask yourself this question. What exactly is the end result of this? Is this worth it, Josh? Why are you doing a standalone master's? And the answer is still, that I didn't think that I was ready for graduate level work in history, and my time in HI 510 and HI 520 made that abundantly clear. I had a very minuscule understanding of Chicago 15th and now 17th edition citations, and I had quite the issue of run-on sentences and utilization of passive voice. I think those issues are fixed now, but the problem is that I'm still not confident about my ability to do independent research at the graduate level. But again, I do not see a positive in any way, shape, or form of me doing this program, because what is essentially going to happen, especially if they add another layer onto the required shit that I have to do in HI 540, which is 20th century American history, is that I'm not going to be able to get it done. And I don't say that very often, because usually speaking, I get everything I need to get done early. I'm never late. I have never submitted a late assignment in either graduate school or even in my undergrad. Never. That might not be true with this class. And considering that, this is just the first fucking week in 530. And I've already gotten an email from two people in my class. Her name's Nicole, and the other guy's name is Michael Thompson. We've been in the program since 510 with each other, and they don't even know if they can fucking do it. I think Nicole's thinking about dropping out, and the thing with that is that I've looked at her discussion posts, and the problem with that is that unfortunately she's already turned it. But everybody in the class, aside from me and two people, turned in the discussion boards late. And so I have to ask myself, am I willing to subject myself to this endless, monotonous stream of busy work and horseshit, sacrificing anything that I may actually learn just so I can fulfill deadlines? And the answer is that I really don't know if I want to, especially considering that this program is going to end up costing me almost $30,000 fucking dollars, and considering the fact that the education market and higher academic markets for history majors looks like a pile of fucking steaming shit. I really don't know if I want to continue to subject my mental health, my physical health, and my bank account to doing this fucking inane shit and dealing with these professors who seemingly have a chip on their shoulder and constantly need to reaffirm that they're smarter than I am. I know you're smarter than I am. That's why I'm at your fucking program, by spam fucking me with content and then going out of their way on these like introductory boards to be like, I intend to make this the most difficult class you take at Norwich. Like, why? What the fuck does anybody gain out of that aside from you stroking your own ego, just like, haha, I graded your papers significantly harsher than I typically would. Haha, you can see I'm smarter than you. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking thinks that they're not smarter or that you're not smarter than we are. That's why we're fucking here. You don't need to prove it to us over a 10-week period and fucking rape us in the ass mental. I don't know, gentlemen. I don't know. I'll keep you posted, but I am getting quite irritated with this shit. I don't know if graduate school is worth it, and I really don't know if I would recommend Norwich to anyone. See ya.